Grab my charger.
It's gonna be short probably, but we're gonna be talking about working during the pandemic. Um, for me personally, it's been way busier, and I'm considered essential, but I don't feel essential. But y'all can go ahead and kick it off.
All
Tell me.
right. So I'll start. So it's been very stressful. I work in a hospital field. I'm a tech, and it's very stressful because it's like, especially when it first started, like we didn't know what to expect, and then when we started getting patients, and it was um, like we're like because at first we didn't even have the right gear. Like they didn't have the right gear for us. So we like, how are y'all expecting us to come in these rooms without the right gear? And we have family, people were quitting left or right. We had like some really good workers who quit just because like they felt like they weren't safe there. But eventually, once we got the right supplies and stuff, we started going in the room. But it was like very, very stressful because it's like you got to go into these rooms, you got to be in there for a period of time with these patients that's sick, and then it's like soon as you leave work, it's like you got to go back home to your family. So it was like, and I was so stressed out because me and my sister have a place together, and I'm like, I don't want to give it to her. Like if something was to happen, if I get sick, and then because who's to know if the gear is going to protect you like they say it is. We don't know. And actually one of our workers, they ended up getting COVID, like, and she was sick for a long time. She was out for a long time. And I just was like, I just stayed prayed up, but I tried to limit it as much time as I went into the room. Like I tried to go in when it was needed, but I didn't try to go in as much as I would normally do. But as far as like just working, like I stopped picking up as much because I like to pick up a lot. I like to make a lot of money, but I stopped picking up as much because it's like, it's very stressful. Like it was to the point where I would literally leave work and have a headache every day thinking about, the COVID stuff. It was just too much. It was too much. And I'm surprised I didn't just walk away from it, but I'm not really a quitter, but it's just the simple fact, like, of all the stuff. It was just like arguments with our boss here and there, and group messages about our opinion of how they were trying to do things, and making us use our N95 mask for a whole month, not switching it out. Yes, it was
Oh hell
crazy.
no, hell no.
Yes, it was so crazy. Like it was, and they still try to do that now, but like they kind of like limited on just doing it for a month. They did it like we use it for a whole week and then we switch it out the next week. But as far as that, like it was, and it still is stressful, but it's not as stressful because we don't really have as many as COVID patients now. But like when it first started and the COVID patients started coming in, it was very stressful. It was to the point, like I said, every day I was coming home with headaches and not wanting to pick up, calling in here and there. Like it was bad. It was so bad. It was to a point of time where in April, I want to say it was like towards the end of April, I ended up and I never cried after work. I ended up calling my mom and just cried to her and was telling her like how I didn't want to do the stuff that I was doing. I was so stressed out. Like it was bad. It was so bad. And that's pretty much my experience with that. And it's still happening. Like, and it's to the point where we're starting to get more COVID patients because like Atlanta was like one of the first cities that they like really kind of opened up a little bit. And so, with the population that we have here, it's starting to get, the peak is starting to rise now. It's starting to rise now. We're starting to see the second stage that they were telling us. Because for a minute, we weren't, for the whole month of May, we weren't really seeing many people coming in. We had like maybe like 3 or 4 on the floor, but now it's like they're coming left or right. One leave, another one come. So it's very stressful. It's so stressful. And it's to the point where they were paying us extra money, to work with these patients only for like 2 weeks and took it away. Took the pay away. Took the pay.
Didn't the government they finance that extra pay, that hazard pay or whatever?
They just did. We just got our hazard pay literally, I kid you not, like maybe 2 weeks ago.
Damn.
Yep. 2 weeks ago.
Up until now.
Up until now, okay? Like it was the most, oh my God, just thinking about it just hurts my head. Like it was terrible. It was horrible. Like I said, I normally pick up. I haven't been picking up. Like they asked me to come in. I'm like, nope, I'm sorry. And they know I'm like one of the first ones, like, yeah, I'll come help out. But lately I haven't. They've been treating their employees bad. But you know, as far as the love we've been getting a lot of love from like other people and companies. They've been giving us food and stuff. You know, thank you for our service and being frontline and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, when you don't feel secure and you don't feel like you're not appreciative, none of that stuff matters. Like with the food and stuff, none of that stuff matters. Like, you know, what others doing. Yeah, we appreciate it. But at the same time, like if we're not taking in consideration as far as like our gear and making us use our PPE and our N95 masks for a long time, like it's I don't know, it's stressful.
I was saying like, I thought it was, because I've definitely experienced both sides of working and not working during the pandemic. And
Yeah.
I want to say the post, even though it's not over, the post pandemic, like people have gotten rude, senseless, naive. I'm like, you know, the mask may not be for you, but it may be for somebody that could be around you. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, and you don't know, people could be asymptomatic and stuff and already have something and you not know it and not have symptoms. So that's one of the things too, why they were like, we were trying to get people at my job, like, you know, the customers, we tell them like, y'all have to wear masks coming in here. We understand that you may not be able to breathe, then you need to go sit in the car. If you feel like you can't wear a mask for 5 minutes to come order your food or come, you know, go get a Slurpee or whatever, then you don't need to be walking outside. You don't need to be out here. You need to stay home then, because this is not for you to be out here telling us you don't want to put on a mask, you don't want to social distance, you want to come in here and do this. And people are really getting aggressive and stuff. And then, just, you know, before that, prior to all of this happening, I'm just so shocked that our main health system, which is the hospitals and urgent cares, are not prepared for a pandemic. And by that, I mean, I get how big or small a pandemic is, but the fact that they were not paired as far as even the knowledge, like they weren't paired with no equipment, y'all didn't have people didn't have
Who do you blame for that?
I really can't say it's one person to blame, because
well, if we coming along finding out that they've been aware of this since fall of last year.
Oh yeah. I mean, but I can't blame the president and all of them as far as
what about
the hospitals not being prepared, because it's kind of like educating yourself. You know, that's kind of like saying if you have a disease and you didn't know you had a disease.
What about if somebody put in place a team for this specific case, for instance, and someone comes along and disbands it, gets rid of them, and then it happens and there's no team in place, what would you say?
I would blame the person who took the team out.
Why would you blame them?
Who made that be though?
Because at that point, if you're taking, that's just saying like, if I'm taking the mother away from the child, if I'm gonna take a mother away from their child, I have to find some type of reliable replacement that can fill in the mother's place of what they were doing.
Fill in that void, yeah.
Because the child can't just make it on its own without having the proper knowledge to, you know, raise themselves. So that's true. It's a hard question, though, you know what I'm saying?
That is a hard question, because I'm saying
the government,
like, you take away, right?
Go ahead.
No, I just was just saying that, like, so are you saying like if you take away, like, as far as like the team, like what do you like? Can you please elaborate on that? I'm sorry.
Well, I just sent your brother a picture of the username and password. I'm still trying to get him in. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. No, you're fine. You're fine.
I'm saying like, okay, Obama had a team set up, a task force set up to stop for it was a global pandemic task force. He had that set up. Okay,
Yeah.
Trump came along and dismantled it.
Right.
Along with he's trying to dismantle Obamacare and everything everything Obama set up. He's trying to like.
Yeah.
So he definitely did dismantle the pandemic. Thing.
I think he's definitely on the list of the causes, but
Of
could he-
course.
could
Of
it
course.
be something
I mean,
he's massively
and
done alone?
that's another story too. Like that's another topic as far as that, because I can get into that too. But like, of course, he definitely has something to do with the issue. I mean, of course, like if he's taking away things and like as far as, you know, making these calls and all this stuff, like as far as like the video I sent you yesterday, Stephanie, like how they were talking about like how the government and him closing down beaches and recreations and parks and stuff like that, just to not expand it. But like they said, the microbes that's in the sand, the heat is what's going to fight that virus off. Why are you taking all this stuff away? Like, so as far as with him dismissing everything, like that's a part of his plan. This is something that he wanted. Like they making money off of that, doing all of this stuff that they're doing. So none of this stuff, it doesn't surprise me of him dismissing none of this stuff, like taking away whatever, making these calls, because like this is what they wanted. Like the person who was in charge of doing, like, you know, spreading the virus and, you know, testing the virus and all that stuff, he runs around with Trump right now. Like he's literally at Trump's events, like here and there. He's always on the side of him. What is his name? What is it? Fucci? What's his name? Fucci or something like that. I forgot
Dr.
his name.
Fouché, don't even know
Dr.
how to say
Fouché
it.
or something like that. That's his name. Yeah. But he's literally Trump's doctor, and he's the one who tested the stuff. Like, so none of this stuff it doesn't surprise me. That's why I said that's a whole nother topic like I can get into, because it's crazy. It's crazy. Like it's mind blowing, you know, like for you to put so many lives in jeopardy as far as with testing stuff and spreading viruses. Like people don't even know that corona is low-key in the flu shots. Like it's some type of, you know, so it's just, it gets deeper. And you know,
I don't feel that it was an essential thing to call people essential. I did not see the bigger picture of people, especially fast food, because you know especially fast food, I seen a picture as far as like the healthcare workers needing to have some type of haven to, you know, come eat afterwards after a hard working shift.
Mm-hmm.
But then this is where it stopped me from having that bigger picture.
Go ahead.
The heck are you eating at a fast food restaurant with people full of human prone areas that could have the virus and spreading it and making your food and eating that and then taking it home to your family and eating that? So I think if something like this was such a pandemic, as far as they didn't know, we would not be doing things that we shouldn't. We would not be, restaurants will be closed. It would be like a dead zone.
Yeah.
Everything would be shut down. Even the slightest urgent cares wouldn't even be open. You hear me? Like, right. I cannot sit here and tell people, like, and I'm trying to explain to people, I'm like, if you had a bigger picture to be safe, it means the stoplights gotta stop. Shouldn't nobody be on the road but state police and patrol and government and federal government officials. At this point, if you're not dying, you need to be at home.
Just like China, they shut the whole city down when this first happened. Look at them now. They're not even dealing with the situation no more because they put a stop to everything as far as food places, hospitals, all that stuff. Like literally they were on complete quarantine lockdown. Like they see you outside.
Actually, I'm sorry to inform y'all, but actually there's a swine flu new potential pandemic that's actually happening. Like,
oh yeah, they're about to get a second wave.
Yeah.
Oh wait, where? Look,
in China, right in China.
Jeez.
They wasn't.
And then they showed a video of the dog wet market So yeah, it's going to keep happening.
with the
Wow.
pigs and all of that.
Well, I need to
It's
look that
gonna
up because
be.
You,
I'm not hip to
where did you
that.
see
That's why I
that?
don't eat pork.
Abdul, where did you see that?
Say what?
Where did you see that?
This
Right.
was this was actually it's all news. You can look up U.S. You can look up swine flu potential pandemic.
Yeah,
You can
I
actually
seen that
Google
too.
it.
They were saying they had the pig, a picture of the pigs and stuff, saying that it's now traveling through the pigs and stuff like that.
Yes, you can actually. You can.
What?
Man, you know, they use these animals as test dummies, man. They know what they're doing.
Yep, that's all that is. That's why
I think that already happened, and it's just like a domino effect. You know, we just getting a ripple after it and already.
Yeah, it
got
did. It happened.
A lot of people were sick at the end of last year, if you remember. A lot of people got real sick towards the end of last year before anybody said anything.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
Now
Like
it
that's
makes sense.
crazy because I was sick when like before all this stuff like really happened. I was sick like so bad in like the beginning of January, like the end of last year. Like I was sick so bad to the point where I had a fever. I couldn't get rid of my fever, and I believe that I had it. I had a fever like for a whole week that I couldn't get rid of. I would take Tylenol, Motrin, all that stuff to get knock it out. I had a fever from like literally from like Monday all the way until like up until like the next week Friday. Like my temp was like 102.4. I couldn't shake it. I'll go to sleep, take medicine, way back up, and my fever's still there. Like
What did the doctor say was wrong with you?
I didn't go to the doctor. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't go to the doctor because like I thought it was something maybe that I can take care of. I didn't go to the doctor until maybe the last week. I went to an urgent care and they were just pretty much saying like, oh, it could be like the flu or stuff like that. So they were just telling me things of what to do. Like
And
to take.
honestly, the doctor wouldn't have knew if it was COVID. They can't even get tested now even. So they wouldn't they would have been
Right,
like
they just
flu,
giving
some
you
type
a
of flu.
14-day quarantine type shit, and that's really it.
Yeah.
They
That's
can't
pretty
even
much,
give you the
that's what
accurate
they told
testing.
me to do. They just told me to go home and, you know, take warm, just the normals that I was already doing to knock it out. But it was crazy because like I was sick bad to the point where I couldn't move, none of that stuff. So I know for a fact that probably what it was.
I mean, we had a family member that passed away, you know, due to COVID, and he didn't even know he had it. And the fact was that he didn't know he had it, and at the same time, he could have been already had it, and then just now, you know what I'm saying, just now contracted the symptoms as far as to show it. So it was like he been out here, there, you know, casinos, this and that. All of that was prior to February. So you telling me, you know, he done had something since February, January. Half of us been out, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shoot, who out of the country in another state, you know. I was out of the country last year, twice, 3-4 times. Then, you know, traveled a few more times. I'm always traveling. So for me, it was kind of like, oh, they already knew about this. That's how I really feel. I'm like, and to me, like I said, you know, the essential part of working to me just, I didn't see the bigger picture. I really didn't see why we had to work during all of this. I felt like nobody should be working. If you not dying, you need to be at home. That was it. If you couldn't pick up the phone and call 911, the ambulance gonna come pick you up, or your mother, father, somebody gonna drive you. Other than that, you should not be out. As far as like them having Kroger and stuff open, I kind of understood the fact, okay, people need to eat. But when they say, hey, we're going on lockdown on Monday, and you didn't get what you need to get Sunday, that's your fault.
Yeah.
Kroger is closed, honey, for the week. You gonna starve then. That's all I got to say, because you giving people a period and a time frame. Y'all done went and bought up all the food, and you tell me you didn't have enough food that you done bought up to last you just for 1 week of everything to be closed.
Right.
That didn't make sense to me. It really didn't. I'm like, this is all, it's a whole nother thing. I feel like they wanted to petition off the people they wanted to choose to get sick. That's why certain fast foods were open, certain stores are open, certain things stayed open, certain things stayed closed. Then they started going on when, you know, the certain things are essential. They was going to close off aisles that had garden tools. Like, come on now. Like, it really didn't make no sense. Closed.
Right.
Menards should not be open. Why is Menards open?
Because I had to get a bathroom sign that said employees must wash hands.
No, he did. That's funny.
No, it was just crazy to me. Like, people was really trying to explain to me, but I'm telling people, like, I did not see y'all bigger picture. I didn't. I didn't. You didn't need to go to Kroger. You didn't need to go to Meijer. You didn't need to go to Menards. You didn't need to go to the gas station. What you need gas for? You supposed to be at home. This is survival. This is the thing I was telling you. Like,
but could you afford to? The average American needs like 4 jobs to even maintain security.
But you wouldn't have need to maintain anything if there's nothing to maintain.
Well,
What
like
you mean?
at the end of the day, you still gonna owe that rent.
Like something.
That rent gonna still be owed.
That was the government's fault. That's why they on the list, and that was their
So
fault.
we supposed to lose our crib because the government don't want to stop us.
You wouldn't have lost your crib. Like, you got to think about something like this. You've seen plenty enough movies. Do you
if you would have lost it, you would have been behind. You would have been behind in your shit.
Honestly, I kid you not.
Worried about people losing power in DTE.
I'm gonna say this: they don't, excuse my French, but they don't give a F. They don't care about anything as far as, like, during this situation. Like, they just been like, "Oh, I'll work with you, this and this and that," but at the same time, they still want their money. They still want their money when it comes to housing and all that stuff. They're not. Because at the end of the day, they still have a business to run. Like, they still have a business to run. They don't care. They want their money regardless. Whether they get it now, whether they get it a month from now, they still want their money. So
what business if the human race is going to be extinct in a week because of a virus?
That's why they've been doing Zoom calls and stuff like that. Like, they're working around it.
What are you worried about paying bills for if you're going to die in a week?
That sounds like good logic, but at the same time, if you wake up and owe some money,
I ain't trying to fucking die in a week.
I'm just saying. We just talked about death in the last one. You know, people treat stuff like how they supposed to be. If we treated this like it was death for real, people would not be outside. Kroger wouldn't be open. They wouldn't be worried about, oh, DTE is going to pay you. No, all of that stuff would be put to a halt. They would make a whole national state of a real state of an emergency. We need everyone to stay home because your life depends on it. Right now, we're canceling out all bills, all of that stuff. You stay put where you're at.
That's not how
the
system works.
Did they do that,
Here
though?
we are. Shit.
I would gladly sat my ass down somewhere.
That's not how the system works, girl. The system is so jacked up. They don't care. They lose out on money. You got to think about it. They lose out on money regardless of anything. The government lose out on money. They don't care. They don't care when it comes to stuff, especially if it ain't them, they don't care. Like,
no, it's just United States. I got friends in other countries, Canada. They like, you paying for what? You worried about what? We all at home. Like, nobody's worried about gas. Y'all worried about tissue? What are you worried about tissue for? I got states that manufacture
wipe my motherfucking ass. What you mean? What I'm worried about tissue for?
We had this conversation before. Like, I'm still lost on it.
Do that.
They worried about, why you worried about going to work? Stay home. Stay safe. No, we can't, because us staying safe means I ain't gonna have my home tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah, that's how I was looking at it.
I'm gonna die going out there getting the Rona because either that or I'm gonna just not have my house.
What the heck?
I mean, that's
good, baby.
Right, that's crazy.
You gotta help me with the bigger picture. It was no bigger picture with being essential. I mean, I appreciate all my essential workers. I appreciate y'all having to choose that. That's what really made it mentally stressful for a lot of people, having to just be like, dang, is my job really worth it?
We didn't have to choose. We had one option: work or don't work. If we didn't work, motherfuckers gonna be sitting on the street going, I ain't got $1 to my name.
Yeah, that's true. Cause like I told y'all, like, I wasn't picking up like that because of this situation. Like, it is mentally stressful. Like, it's to the point where I was coming home every day, like, literally, like, just breaking down, stressed out, just being in that environment. I see it firsthand. Working in a hospital, I see it firsthand. So it was definitely a lot, and it's definitely challenging. And we're still going through the motions right now, but we worked around it and found ways to, like, to make it better than what it was when it first started.
Now,
But
Eve, working in a hospital, do they train you guys for like tornado drills and stuff like that? Tornado and so
Yeah.
did you guys have a training for a pandemic? Virus infections, outbreaks?
we didn't have a training until
Remember, they got
when people
disbanded.
started.
Yeah, we got a training like after the fact, like after
Oh,
towards the
cool.
After
end.
the fact, when it
Hands-on
started getting
training.
serious, yeah,
After
when
they
it started getting
seen
serious,
billions of people die, now they want to give us something saying how the shit work.
that's crazy. Because like when it first started, like we were asking my boss, like, is it really that serious? And she was like, no, the media is hyping it up to what it is to be. And I was just like, okay. But then as you know, we seen all these cases, all this stuff that's going on. And then not only that, they're treating like the flu as if it's corona too. They're trying to up
Well,
their
it's in the family though.
It's
in the,
true.
It's
It
in the
is.
corona family.
Right, people
It's
done
true.
died from the flu, HIV,
Right.
and all of the above.
Ebola. Y'all remember Ebola?
Yeah.
I don't understand that history repeats itself, didn't iterate into people's minds as far as not just the regular citizen, but in the healthcare field, in the human services field, like y'all, as far as the unemployment stuff, y'all wasn't prepared for
Right.
life cases, pandemic, the bubonic plague, stuff like that back in the
Oh
day.
no! Before they hit, it was Kobe Bryant. They was worried about Kobe Bryant. It wasn't no like.
Okay.
Hey, don't do that, man.
No, I'm just
Don't do
saying.
that.
Look.
Hold on.
Nobody was worried.
Bomb out, man. Don't do that. Bomb out, man.
You gotta understand what I'm saying though. It's like something that's
Yeah,
going
they
on,
spent months. They
and then
spent months
something.
worrying about what happened with Kobe. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So
Nobody's really paying attention to it.
Exactly. So it's the next big thing.
No, they spent months worrying about Trump doing what was the missile, launching the missile and all that other stuff. They've been through that. They was talking about that for months. Like, oh, he did this. He's the one who caused this COVID stuff because he was trying to tell China and all this other. I'm just like, Lord.
And then the trade embargo with China,
right.
Stop the trade. So they were like, here, take this. You don't want to trade? We got something for you.
Man.
The thing is, Trump said, fuck China. He didn't think it was going to happen to us. And then it happened. He like, oh, damn.
But see, the thing is, Trump knew it was going to happen. I think Trump knew it was going to happen. Like
no, Michael Jackson knew it was going to happen.
Like I said,
he was wearing the mask in the first place. Yep, he always had the mask on. Yep.
Like
now we're crazy.
I feel like he knew it was going. Like I told y'all, I can get deeper into the. Look, I've been doing my research with this stuff, and like I said, the person who's been running with him, he's the one of the cause of all of this. Like literally, he's the cause of all of this. This corona testing stuff, and like in the lab, all that stuff. Like put in. What do they say? Why do you think? And then this is the thing that just tripped me out. I just found out that our PPE masks, we're high at risk of catching corona with our PPE mask. No, not our N95 mask than anything, because we're taking all that stuff in. We can't breathe with it on. We're taking all that stuff in. You gotta think about it. All that stuff that's inside, it weakens your immune system. All that stuff, like it weakens the way you're breathing, and it just puts you at higher risk to catch the corona. And it's crazy.
And also, you breathing in carbon monoxide when you
yes,
have a mask on.
Yes, I've been trying to preach to people at work, and they just don't listen.
Look. I say the same thing, and they be on my head about it. I be like, I'm so tired. Like I was just
right.
Like,
so do you think the 6 feet at work when we work?
Hey, real quick, Cindy, I had a question. So, E, what would you suggest they should wear then?
Honestly, I'm gonna just say the surgical mask. I'm gonna just say the surgical mask and your PPE. PPE is like the little mask that they wear over top, like the little carb, whatever it is. But I honestly think the surgical mask, because it's breathing, you can let air out, whatever the case. But as far as like the N95 mask, nothing's getting in there. Like you said, you're breathing up that carbon monoxide, all that stuff. Like it's very toxic. And then like that's the thing, they're enforcing people to take the flu shot with the corona inside the flu shot, and they're telling us if we don't take the flu shot, we have to wear our N95 the whole year. Like, how that makes sense? The whole year? Y'all making us wear the N95 the whole year. Like, they know what they doing. Like, these people, they be knowing what they doing, especially Trump, all of them. They know what they doing. He knew this stuff was going to happen before anything. Like I said.
You know, you got people trying to strengthen their immune systems right now, too.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Look, I'm like, of course. This
You
man, he don't surprise me. None of this stuff surprised me of what he's doing. Like, it doesn't surprise me. It just surprised me that people really voted for this man to be in office. That's what surprised me. Like, they really, and they still running with him.
That shouldn't surprise me.
Hey, I think some of them running with him to save their own life though, because you know he controls too much and he don't give no fucks at all. So like I just think the ones rolling with him, they feel like they're gonna be alive.
That's true. I mean, that's some truth to
But
it,
what
too.
about the ones that left his side though? They was embarrassed. Like this is ridiculous. What about those?
Like the girl.
They chilling
No,
with
I'm
us minorities.
That video I sent you, Stephanie, she was running with all of them. That video I sent you last night, that lady, that doctor, she was running with all of them. Like, she didn't expose all of them, put it out there. Like, they knew this years ago. This man been doing this since HIV came out, testing stuff, Ebola, like just expanding it, just trying to get more money and cause more deaths. And it's crazy putting people on lockdown, especially with the quarantine stuff. Yeah, I understand to prevent the spread, but like closing beach down, you got to think about it. The sun and the heat it fights off that virus. Like,
girl,
keep
the beach closed.
Right, the hotter it is, the lesser chance you're gonna get this shit. That's facts. That's facts.
Exactly. So you gotta think about it, the microbes that's in the sand, like all that stuff. Like, why are y'all closing all this? Why are y'all closing the beach down? Like, it gets so
people
deep.
don't know how to act.
People
You
got to
can't say
surge.
why close the beach down? People don't know how to act.
In Florida, they open those beaches up, and more people got butt sick.
Right. They open the beach up. You on the beach, not on the beach to be on the beach. You on the beach doing other stuff, and that's what's got people where they at right now.
They spring breaking.
That's how they getting that corona, having that corona set. Then they get
right. That's crazy.
Oh man.
You in the water. Salt water, last time I checked, don't kill all the germs. So you in the water with the water in the water with somebody else, and they got something, sweat pores. It's all in the water now.
That's what I told you. Like, when I went to Thailand, I got in the water, but I wasn't.
My thing is, if it's in our salt water, is it in our drinking water too? So are we, if stuff like that, just curious. The workers, the essential workers that go to work, that work for, the water pumps and all the pump lines and stuff, if one of them have it, do we all just, circumstantially just have COVID now?
I just think it's so weird.
I would definitely say no. Hell no. That's not the way it's transferred.
It's so crazy though, because like most of our patients that come in with corona are like patients that work in like construction. Like, literally, it's so many people that works in construction that like comes in with corona.
That porta potty.
It's either people that's from the nursing home, the old people, or wait a second. No, you did.
You ain't catch.
That's right, crazy. We're talking about the porta potty. Grow up, Stephanie.
They be using that same porta potty on the construction site.
I think it's because the lack of cleaning their equipment. The construction workers, the lack of cleaning their equipment. Because I know a couple friends that got
and then you gotta think about it.
From that, and that's why.
And you gotta think about it. Those people, the people that work in construction, they've been wearing N95s before we even thought of wearing N95s. They've been wearing that, so the dust and pollen, all that stuff can't get in their face. That could have a lot too, weakening their immune system and stuff. Like, oh Lord, I'm getting a headache thinking about this shit.
TJ, do you remember when people was calling off at work because they like, I think I'm sick. And
yeah, I mean, they can still do that shit now, man, on some bullshit. I got the corona. I got the symptoms.
But you gotta get tested though. It's a real deal though. Don't nobody want to pay that money, and don't nobody want to miss that money.
Nah.
That's true.
Well, with the unemployment, man, don't matter. You miss or may, hit or miss now. to that end, people was calling off left and right. Get the unemployment.
Yeah,
That's true. That's so
it's gonna
true.
be a big ass fraud case in the end, though.
I think so too.
Big ass fraud case, because
I
some
think
people.
so too. I feel like, okay, everybody getting this unemployment, but it's too much money they giving out.
Hey,
It's
watch
too-
they eat that shit back on our taxes. Watch. We ain't get
And,
no taxes back
and
on that
that's what
shit.
they
Taking all
said
that shit
too.
back.
Somebody said that too.
Mhm.
They
I
eating all that shit back.
they
That's why I stay working. I ain't about to be paying a dime back. Fuck that.
That's why you had them take the taxes out.
Yeah, but still, you see I'm black. Fuck that.
for real.
I'm
For
gonna do
real.
like James Brown, start burying my money. Shit, fuck it.
Okay. And save that mud. Bury and save it. But it's just all of this stuff is just it's crazy. It's crazy. But honestly, I just want to ask a question for all y'all. But do y'all feel like going through this situation, like the pandemic and going through quarantining, have it taught y'all something though? Like low key, like have it benefited
Yeah, it
y'all?
taught me to stack bread.
Okay, that's a good one.
And
But
with
like,
that
have
being
it
said,
benefited you?
I'm not a homebody as much as I thought I was.
Okay.
Just that one moment, just to do something or whatever, it'd be cool.
Mhm.
And then, but like T said, just stack bread, whether you like it or not, you're gonna end up doing it.
Right.
Ain't no
Yeah,
what you gonna do?
it definitely taught me to manage my money more better. Cause when
Definitely.
the hours got cut, I'm looking at my pocket. I'm like, damn,
Mhm.
feeling
That's
kind
true.
of broke.
Right.
So like, yeah, it helped me stack up my money a lot better.
Right.
Definitely.
It
I
helped.
got.
It helped build a. It helped put your home life at the test because you there with that motherfucker all day, all night. So you got shit got put to a test.
Mhm. I
You
mean,
got to
it
see whether
has.
you really like who you said you liked.
Right.
Okay.
And with that being
Mhm.
said, this cat, I'm gonna fuck him up because that motherfucker been on my fucking nerves the whole fucking time. I'm saying this out loud. I'm looking around, see who listening. If he
Dang.
disappeared, then hey.
I think it taught me for
What it
me.
teach you, E?
Oh, go ahead.
Huh?
Yeah, what it teach you?
Honestly, I mean, I agree with y'all as far as like stacking and saving up money, because it did teach me like time management with my money, but it also taught me like to have patience and like slow down because I'm always moving fast. So it taught me to slow down and to pay attention to the ones that's around me, like my family, because I mean I always paid attention to them, but I never just been like so content and focused on like helping them too. So it taught me like who I am as a person. Like I got closer to God. And I'm not just gonna say just because it is, but it took like all of this like for it to happen. So it's just everything. I feel like everything is working out in my favor, like how it's supposed to work. And I'm not as stressed. Like I never really had money problems during this situation. I got actually blessed with 10 times more money than what before we even went through this stuff. So
Oh, well, let me the dollar.
yeah.
I'm not playing with you. I was
Cash
say
out me a dollar.
it taught me like I mean, it definitely sort of what you were saying, T, but I learned the need versus want. Because again, like right before the pandemic started, I was going to training for my flight attendant job. And then they end up in the middle of our training, like, oh, y'all gotta go. They basically sent us home. So then me rushing and quitting all my jobs just for this one job opportunity, like you were saying, it definitely taught me patience. Like if I would have just told them like, okay, I'm gonna be back for a week. If I would have just kind of held on or something like that, that would have also saved me from coming back. Because when I came back home, I came back to nothing, you know? So that also taught me things, but it also taught me what I need right now and versus what I want. I know I didn't need to go to the store 5-6 times a day to survive. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus what did I need to spend my money on? You know what I'm saying? Like I knew I had most of the essentials of daily living already here at my house. Vinegar, ammonia, lights, already had all that stuff here. So I'm like, do I need to go run out and buy, just buy all extra stuff? I'm like, no. So that kept me from, leaving out the house too. And then, like I said, just it helped me put my priorities in order. Having enough time like this through the day, you know, you started to read different things. It made me question
And I
myself.
just started, and it's crazy because I never been like a reader. So like I read a lot now. Like I read a lot of books. I got different books that I didn't bought during this situation. And then it's just like it actually showed me something like as far as my craft. I didn't try different things over and over and over that I wanted to try to pursue. But I actually found my craft during this situation. Like it's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Tired of cooking.
You know what? This is
Ah,
awesome. This
shut
one,
up.
I'll put this one in the books as a good, best one. So, well, it's up there. We got to have y'all back. Definitely.
I come back. How often y'all do this?
Every Tuesday, 8 o'clock.
Every Tuesday.
Tune in, y'all. Tune in, followers, every Tuesday.
Shut up.
And I'll make sure y'all get the link and everything to everything. And
Yeah,
this is
I was having some technical difficulties, man. I don't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah,
but I
you
had-
missed the whole beginning though.
That's
whole
because we
beginning.
was talking about Abdul earlier. About like,
Is that what it was?
Hey,
I got
and I
jinxed,
couldn't
okay.
even hear. I heard my cousin talking stuff, but I was like, okay, yeah. Okay.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed it. I always wanted to do like a podcasting. Like I always wanted to do like, you know, not do it, but just like involve and talk or whatever. Like I'm a debater. I like talking. I'm a debater.
And you'll be back
I'll
because
be back.
you know what? Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. We can
No
call this a
problem.
wrap. It's
Thank
been
you.
real.
See y'all later.
All right.
All right.
All right. Stephanie, FaceTime.